Wow. Blake Lively is trying to get Justin Baldoni and his lawyer to shut up after some new footage.
So I want to cut through some of the noise here. Blake Lively is accusing Justin Baldoni of sexual harassment.
The Super Bowl was this year, and, Blake Lively decided to go. She wanted to leave the kids at home and just, have fun with the girlies.
Blake Lively's legal dispute with Justin Baldoni has taken a surprising twist as new information brings hidden inconsistencies to light. Recently uncovered documents and past statements are painting a different picture, one that challenges Blake's carefully crafted image of honesty and openness. As she tries to manage the situation, her efforts seem to be having the opposite effect, sparking controversy, criticism, and growing public backlash.
Blake Lively suggested Justin be his trainer was Ryan and Blake's clear friend and celebrity trainer who was clearly aligned to them. So now this whole fat shaming thing that started the whole argument from Ryan came from this guy, this trainer who's clearly closer to them and wants them and showing them off, pinning them all over his Instagram to get other celebrities so he can get more people to join his gym or whatever. This is where it all came from, through hearsay, through that. And then just to focus a second, again, allegedly, if this guy is the one who did it, and you're telling me your client now, Justin, who's become your training, is talking to you about concerns or whatever. Who knows how he asked it, or if he was just brought it up in passing, like, oh man, I got this big lifting scene that I got to do.
Blake Lively has built a reputation for speaking out on important issues, but her actions in this legal battle are making many question her credibility. Critics are pointing out apparent double standards, and the situation has only escalated with Ryan Reynolds being pulled into the mix. Fans are now wondering if Hollywood's golden couple is finally facing consequences for trying to play both sides. So, how did Blake's carefully maintained image fall apart so fast? Let's dive into the surprising revelations shaking things up.
And either way, Blake Lively did a fantastic speech a couple years ago in which I absolutely love. A lot of people were touched by it for sure. Blake Lively decides to wear Balenciaga.
What is this, honey?
Also forgot to mention another one of Balenciaga's backlash was because they had the Balenciaga bag on top of court documents which were about CP. And a lot of people were just like, this is just strange. And it is just strange behavior. It doesn't matter how people try and flip it, bop it, twerk it, or turn it around, babes. This is strange behavior. Anyway, so she went to the Super Bowl, she wore the red, and she was basically like a walking highlighter, walking promotion from them. Is she like an ambassador? No, she's not. I did a Google search and she's not. An ambassador would be like Kim Kardashian, who constantly was shoving Balenciaga down our throats and showing campaigns that she did with.
In a surprising turn, Blake Lively returned to court, not just to handle legal matters, but to counter the growing backlash against her lawsuit. Her appearance seemed like a last-ditch effort to protect her reputation as critics accuse her of playing the victim while engaging in the very behavior she once condemned. Fans have been quick to highlight the contradictions between her courtroom statements and past public positions, leaving many questioning whether she's shifting her stance to fit the moment.
They don't call her, well, I don't call her Blake No Receipts Lively for nothing. The judge in New York overseeing the consolidated federal case has already granted a protective order to the Nepo baby who filed the request, but that's not enough for her. So now, the wife of Scarlett Johansson's ex-husband has gone back to court and is asking for, gimme. Delulu Lively is asking for a stronger protective order than the court's model one they already received. Depositions and discovery are to come, and Taylor Swift. And others, but Taylor Swift. So you see, it's not about her. No. Pinocchio Princess has a big heart and is looking out for others. A reminder, Baldoni and his team had previously agreed to a protective order. The judge, Judge Lyman, thought it was a good idea because of how many high-profile people were involved. So we shall see if he is open to this new, much stronger protective order. Until then, Perez Hilton here at your service.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds allegedly tried to suppress a damaging clip of Justin Baldoni, which cast Blake in a negative light. Many saw this as an attempt to cover up the truth rather than address it, only adding to the hypocrisy claims. Critics argue that if Blake truly stood by her statements, she would need to silence the opposition, a tactic she has openly criticized in the past. This latest move has only intensified the backlash, leaving fans questioning her credibility even more.
Wow. Blake Lively is trying to get Justin Baldoni and his lawyer to shut up after some new footage, very revealing footage, was released yesterday. Is this her telling us a little something? Is she guilty? Or no?
P-A-S-C-A-L, you are now rocking with the dude Pascal. What's up?
The Justin Baldoni and the Blake Lively situation has just gotten very messy over some time. Let's just be completely real. And I'm still questioning a lot of things that have been strewn out for the whole court of public opinion to see with their own eyes. And let's be real. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more stuff here very, very soon. But nonetheless, yesterday, Justin Baldoni's lawyer put out some video.
One of the most shocking revelations to emerge is the resurfacing of allegations that Blake Lively engaged in fat-shaming on set, claims that directly contradict her longtime advocacy for body positivity. Court documents detail instances where she allegedly made insensitive remarks, sparking outrage among fans who once admired her for promoting self-acceptance. This discovery has dealt a major blow to her credibility, leaving many to wonder if her carefully crafted public image is nothing more than an act.
Justin Baldoni's team refiled their complaint and with it included a new timeline featuring a lot of new evidence. And the more I read it, the angrier I'm getting at Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor. Justin Baldoni's team went and did it. They made the website. You can all go check it out now. thelawstudioinfo.com, where you can get the amended complaint and the timeline of relevant events. It seems like the start of what they promised us. It's not every text, like they said, but it's a lot of new texts that really do make Blake look really bad. And that's really what I wanted to focus on first. I want to focus on what Blake alleged, and then I want to go through these new timeline of events to sort of show, well, what do we have from Justin to sort of dispute it?
Blake Lively's case has become a prime example of Hollywood's double standards. While she has publicly promoted honesty and transparency, her actions in this lawsuit tell a different story. From alleged behind-the-scenes manipulation to legal tactics designed to shift blame, it's clear that her behavior doesn't match the values she claims to stand for. Many insiders believe this isn't just about one lawsuit. It's the result of years of unchecked privilege finally coming back to haunt her.
So I want to cut through some of the noise here. Blake Lively is accusing Justin Baldoni of sexual harassment. Baldoni is hitting back with a $400 million lawsuit. And now Lively says her kids are traumatized. She's afraid to leave her home. And Ryan Reynolds, Hollywood's favorite wise ass, is mentally and physically affected by the whole mess. You want to know what I see? I see another Hollywood disaster where justice takes a back seat to spin, strategy, and more nonsense narrative control. And we saw this before. And if you think this is just about two celebrities fighting it out, you're missing the bigger picture. This is about how the media and Hollywood's elites weaponize accusations, manipulate public perception, and decide who gets canceled and who doesn't. Because he doesn't look that traumatized to me to be cracking jokes on Saturday Night Live. Or maybe he's a better actor than I thought. So look, I spent a lot of time around Hollywood. The first 15 years of my career, I spent providing close protection and security consulting for A-list actors, musicians, rock stars, Hollywood executives. I've worked behind the scenes at private events. I've been inside their homes. I've slept in their homes. I've been on tour with some of the big names in entertainment. And I've seen firsthand how the industry works. The power plays, the manipulation. I've heard all the phone calls. The deals that never made it into the headlines. Nobody's closer than the celebrity bodyguard.
Social media hasn't wasted any time calling out Blake Lively's contradictions. Fans have resurfaced old interviews where she spoke about integrity and respect, only to contrast them with her current actions. Clips show her condemning dishonesty and manipulation, values she now finds herself accused of violating. The backlash has been swift and relentless, with many criticizing her for saying all the right things in the past, but failing to live up to them now.
The Super Bowl was this year, and, Blake Lively decided to go. She wanted to leave the kids at home and just, have fun with the girlies. And she did that alongside her best friend, Taylor Swift, who is there to obviously support her boyfriend, Travis Kelce. His family was there. Celebrities were there because obviously it's like one of the biggest nights in sports. And Ice Spice was there, Lana Del Rey was there, and a bunch of other celebrities. Blake Lively decided to wear Adidas x Balenciaga. I know Americans say Adidas. I'm British, so I'm just going to say Adidas. But yeah, Adidas x Balenciaga. And decided to basically be a walking campaign for them because it was like the brightest shade of red. And of course people are going to wonder like, oh my God, what's she wearing? What's she wearing? Who designed this? I mean, obviously it has the 3 stripes, but people wanted to know more about the outfit, especially because like people were more concerned about the outfit more than the actual like history here. But I guess like the boots were like attached to the tracksuit. They designed it in a way where it was like very innovative.
While Blake Lively is bearing the most criticism, Ryan Reynolds hasn't escaped scrutiny either. His public defense of Blake has raised questions, with some arguing that he's no longer just protecting her, but enabling her behavior. As more details surface, including reports of his own alleged outbursts, his involvement seems to be doing more harm than good. Instead of defusing the situation, Ryan's actions may be pulling them both deeper into controversy.
He also did some ha-ha, he in the last Deadpool movie. Remember Nice Pool? I wouldn't be doing that if that were my wife, but I'm not married to the plantation princess. He is, and she's got a Ryan Reynolds problem. And she knows it. A source close to the soon-to-be former actress tells People magazine, whom I find to be very credible, quote, Blake felt a bit anxious about attending the SNL anniversary. She still thought it was the perfect opportunity to ease back into the spotlight. They had many friends attending, and as soon as they arrived...
Newly released court documents have revealed even more contradictions in Blake Lively's case. Emails and internal communications suggest that she may have originally agreed to certain scenes and decisions she now calls inappropriate. This has shifted the situation from a legal battle to a full-blown credibility crisis, with Blake rapidly losing support as doubts about her claims continue to grow.
Following the court documents released between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, they've got these pre-trial documents that have been going back and forth. Some might read them as very hypocritical, as Blake Lively's side is trying to get a gag order, a protective order against Justin Baldoni so that he doesn't share the evidence against her in their upcoming court battle. Well, since the court date is set for over a year from now, I think their plan is to let the public know, hey, here's what we got. This is what we'll be sharing. This is just what happened. Of course, this coming after Blake Lively colluded with the New York Times to get her side out there with her evidence. So the question is, will this evidence by Justin Baldoni be exposed today or this weekend before the Monday court hearing? Maybe they say, well, on Monday, the judge might decide we're not allowed to talk at all.
While Blake Lively's legal troubles are making headlines now, some industry insiders say this behavior isn't new. Past reports of on-set conflicts are resurfacing, with former colleagues describing her as difficult and controlling. These revelations suggest that her current controversy may not be an isolated incident, but rather a long-standing pattern that is only now coming to light.
After everything that has gone down, from the It Ends With Us promo to these lawsuits coming out back to back from Blake Lively and then from her co-star Justin Baldoni, I had to hop on this. And here we are now, hopping on the wave, talking about Miss Blake Lively. But before we get into this very, very, very lengthy video, let's first start off with a little bit of positivity as always. Today's quote of the day is, I free myself from all destructive thoughts. Today's verse of the day is Hosea chapter 10, verse 12, and it reads, sow righteousness for yourselves, reap the fruit of unfailing love, and break up your unplowed ground. For it is time to seek the Lord until he comes and showers his righteousness on you. And without further ado, you guys, let's get straight into today's video. And it honestly started leading people to believe that Leighton was the problem versus Blake, just because Leighton was more laid back and didn't care to be all up in the spotlight. And that gets into another reason as to why people believe that the two didn't like each other, and that was the unequal spotlight. So Blake often got more media attention attention due to her constantly being on red carpets, having a more bubbly personality, and just personally putting herself out there. It was clear she loved the attention. She loved the spotlight. And then you had Leighton, who went to far less public appearances and overall just stayed out of the limelight.
The inconsistencies in Blake Lively's lawsuit have left many confused. How can someone who champions transparency be involved in secret deals and legal actions that contradict her public stance? This isn't just creating doubts in the courtroom. It's also disappointing fans who once admired her, leaving many questioning whether her image was ever genuine.
So they got the story killed on the basis that whatever was being circulated was not real. It was not authentic. They try to spin this in the amendment, try to spin them saying we got this killed as a huge aha. And here's the language that they use. You know, less than 1 week later, they bragged about how they had shut down stories regarding HR complaints on set. Miss Nathan remarked that this went so well, it was genius, so okay, we have 4 majors standing down on the HR complaint. Yeah, it wasn't real. That's her job, is to get things debunked when they are not true. And so for them to then try to spin it to us like something was wrong here is completely ridiculous. It is totally ridiculous. Okay, now before we get into Isabel Ferrer, because I really want to point something out here that I find to be extremely creepy about her relationship with her and how I think she purposefully put her in her, kind of in her web.
He was just dropped from his talent agency. I think you guys might be underestimating the seriousness of these allegations, and I don't think this is all a PR stunt. I hope that you actually read the 80-page complaint and look at the images of the text messages and the allegations of what he and the 2 owners did to her ongoing, even after they had several meetings with Ryan Reynolds present and they wouldn't stay.
Blake Lively's hypocrisy is no longer just speculation. It's now the core of a legal and PR crisis that's unraveling her carefully built image. With accusations of fat-shaming, conflicting court documents, and efforts to silence her opponent, her once pristine reputation is quickly falling apart for everyone to see.
And in the special operations world, there were nights with no sleep, missions that stretched for days, and no room for mistakes. Coffee was serious, and it kept us sharp, locked in, and ready to move. And let me tell you something, I still take it seriously. And that's why Merkava Coffee, strong, no nonsense, battle tested, no fluff, no gimmicks, just good, bold coffee for the people who need to be at their best. And if you start your day like I do, like it's a mission, you know why this matters. Hit the link down in the description and grab yourself a triple order and help keep the lights on and support the Aaron Cohen Show. Appreciate you guys. Now I want to talk about the court versus public opinion.
As more evidence comes to light and fans keep exposing the double standards, it's clear that trying to play both sides is backfiring. Ryan Reynolds' involvement has only made things messier, turning Hollywood's golden couple into the center of the biggest scandal of their careers.
That Justin is innocent as far as that goes. And of course, when you have that out in the court of public opinion, it's very easy for people to sway and go, well, wait a second. Well, if he's not lying about this, if she was incorrect about this, could she be incorrect about a lot of other things as well? And I think this is the main reason why Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are now hitting his lawyer and Justin Baldoni with a gag order. So basically, they're trying to snuff them out. They are trying to get them to stay quiet.
The real question now isn't just whether Blake can win the lawsuit. It's whether she can rebuild her reputation. And with each new revelation, that path to redemption seems more unlikely than ever.